Oh, you can't help but get your groove on when you hear the theme song of the greatest junior college organization in the nation, Bakersfield College. Welcome to this week's edition of the Renegade Report, and I am joined by two of my favorite people. Why are they my favorite people? Because every time I need help, they're around. First, to my left, Ron White of Golden Empire Youth Football, and Teresa Williams. How you doing?
Hey, great.
Doing
It's great
well.
to be here. Thanks for having us, Kenny Calvin.
Well, like I said, man, when we do so much together, you know, it's just natural to be able to share the love from the outset. But let's give the world a timeline. You know, we were co-workers when we didn't even really know each other at a
True.
group home company. We were neighbors. When I first moved back to California, you were my across the street neighbor. Didn't know we even played football and had football intertwined with each other, right?
True.
Right? And now, as community professionals, we probably three of the people who help the most kids, you know, per capita in the country between what we do for a living, right?
Well, the first thing is apparently we can't escape each other, right?
Right.
Neighbors, co-workers, but we're always working for the best of the community. So for that, I'm deeply honored to have that relationship, as I'm sure Teresa will echo.
Absolutely.
Teresa, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You know what? It feels good to see you not working. I mean, even though we're still working, but I mean, every time I see you, you're so busy. I barely even get to have more than 10 minutes with you because you got to run and do something. So this is going to be fun.
Ron has me working all the time.
She's
all the
working
time.
right now, and that 10 minutes, I expect her to work during that time, too.
Right,
So,
right. I'll be leaving
absolutely.
shortly.
Absolutely.
Well, Ron, you know, this summer, you know, we came together on a few things. I did the Kids and Cleats campaign with my unified company. You were one of our first sponsors. You know, you always step up to the plate when you see me trying to do something out of my small pocket. And you're like, Ken, I can't let you do this by yourself, man. Here goes some Dick's coupons. What else you need, man? Here goes some funds for some fees. Like when you stepped in to do that, it was such a beautiful feeling for me to have you guys come in and do that, because I don't ask for help much because I feel like we can get it done alone. But for you guys to come in, I just want to let you know how much you appreciate it. And over the summer, we changed at least 500 lives through the sport of football by giving away cleats because of you guys as well. So thanks, guys.
Well, let me say, first of all, if you know anything about Kenny Calvin, nobody outworks this guy, and I try every day, right? I think he might sleep with his eyes open. The truth is, you didn't ask for help. We saw your mission. We share your core values. This is what we do. We represent roughly 4,000 participants who wear cleats.
Wow.
Whose families, you know, oftentimes have challenges.
Yes.
So you led the way for us. We're happy to be a part of that project because what you do is really linked with what we do.
Man, and how beautiful was it for us to share an opportunity for the summer camp at Bakersfield College Stadium. You had, I mean, it looked like 1,000 kids out there to me. You know, I recognize some of the kids that I worked with, you know, being a social worker. But just go through the summer and how you guys gave back through the summer camp.
No, I'm glad that you led the way with that. Let me first thank somebody. Reggie Bolton.
Coach B.
Coach B. I hope you're listening today. Defensive coordinator extraordinaire for Bakersfield College. Great coach, but even a better community supporter.
Absolutely.
We've been holding this camp at Bakersfield College with the support of the administration, Sandy Taylor,
Coach.
You name it, for about almost 20 years now.
Man.
And the goal of that camp, right, with the help of Reggie Bolton, is to give kids an opportunity to learn the fundamentals of football,
Yes.
come together as a community, but beyond that. We provide sports physicals for a lot of families.
I saw that.
Right? So really, we're probably closer to 600. It felt like 1,000.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that is that we've charged $50 for that camp, right, which is bare minimum for 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
And it will be 50, 20 years from now, because it's not about any of those things. It's about servicing the community.
Ron, and this is where I'm going to cut you off with that,
Go
because
ahead.
being a former player, I see millionaire NFL players charging kids $350, $250, $150 for the same kind of camp that we put on this summer. And that kind of gets to me, because I'm like, guys, what are you raising money for? You know, you're charging the same people we're supposed to be raising money for. You know, so
No,
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
that's so ironic, Kenny. And here's what's interesting. When I looked at the Renegade roster
Yes.
this year,
Yes.
I went down and figured out that, wow, I know him, oh, and I know him. And when I'm done with the roster, I realized that 2/3 of those players are all Golden Empire alumni and attended
Yes.
the very camp that we're talking about.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of the camp, let's go to Miss Teresa.
Absolutely.
You know, no, it's a huge effort, a collective effort from the staff members. So now I want to go back to Teresa, because when you're standing in front of the camera and talking and making those relationships, Miss Teresa is one of the people doing a lot of the paperwork. She's doing a lot of the organization. You know, how does it feel for you to see the players that you've helped processing their paperwork make it to the next level in high school and college, Miss Teresa?
I have to tell you that I started here with this organization back in 2005 when my son, we were driving down Hageman Road, and there was Todd Hansen was holding a tryout for.
Nice. What's your son's name again? Let the world know.
Matthew Clendenin.
All right, Matt.
And he wanted to play, and he had a heart for it, and it started there, and. The first year, I became the rep after my first year, football rep. So I started as a football mom. And when I got to know Ron and what he stood for and what this organization stood for, and I watched some of these kids not just move on to high school, but college, and some of them are in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Some of these
I know
kids
a
that
few
I
of them.
know that went to
Yeah.
Centennial, that played for me, are in the NFL, and it's just so gratifying to see some of these kids really be successful, and
Absolutely.
not just monetarily, but just in their lives in general, and
Yes.
know what football has done for them.
Absolutely. I mean, I got love for Centennial. I love a Centennial woman. My wife's a Centennial.
Well, there you go.
You better plug that
Hey,
right
you
in.
know, I'll go ahead and
Right.
slide that in there. I had
Please
my
do.
man Don Kessler on last week.
There you
He's one
go.
of our other sponsors. You know, but just thinking about the impact that we have, you know, from a community perspective makes it all worthwhile. And like Ron said, and like you said, it's not about the financial gain that we attain at the end. It's about the impact in the dash. You know, last week we buried one of our Renegade players, Randy Turner.
Right.
And during the funeral, you know, the most important thing that stuck out to me all the time was not the end, not the beginning, but the dash, you know, and how he lived his life in between. So, you know, salute to you guys for that. But let's talk this year. What you guys got coming up this week?
Well, I will tell you this week, but let me lead into that by saying that we're really blessed, and sometimes as a community, we're not necessarily as informed as we need to be, meaning that I really believe that we have the richest football community in the country here.
I agree.
It's not even close.
I mean,
right?
yeah.
Right. I mean, look, and by the way, last time I checked, rivalries start at the youth level.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
seeing an end product. But coming up this week, we're in week 2 of the season, right? Of about a 13-week season.
Okay.
But really what's coming up beyond that is that big event. And I know we're going to get to that, but that big event on the 8th and some other events. I will tell you right now, people are fired up. They're excited. They love football. They love cheer. That's why we love this community.
I can't wait to see the
Ooh.
tailgate
Oh, yeah.
for our first home game, September 8th. Speaking of September 8th, Ron just let the cat out the bag.
Oh, yeah.
It's Golden Empire Youth Football Day. It's going to be a fantastic day. I can't wait to see the tailgate action. I'm actually going to invite Ron up to the booth at halftime, see if we can sneak him on, and also bring some of my young players. I would like to have some of the players that I was able to mentor with you guys over the summer up in the booth with me, if y'all can bring them up, you know, just so
Absolutely.
to share a minute of that,
That would be
with me.
great.
You know, but talking about our roster this year, you know, because
Oh.
this is our opening week too. We open up at Mount Sac. We're playing at Covina High School because their stadium's getting some remodeling. But who are some of your former players you're looking forward to seeing, Ron?
I have to tell you that we could spend, this show's not long enough, right? Because when you look at the roster, I went name by name, but I'm just going to give you a few without saying that I'm forgetting other folks.
Yes.
But when you look at the roster, guys that jump out to me immediately, right? Hey, Bishop Maxwell.
That's my guy.
Not only is he a Golden Empire alumni, I coached the young man.
I know.
Outstanding, right? Bakersfield High.
Outstanding.
But you can go
Driller
on
boys.
from Andrew Hansen, right? We know
Yes.
that connection.
Yes.
Elijah Ortiz,
Elijah.
Cam Roberson.
What? Our two leading scorers last year.
Mr. Olivas.
What?
That's how I refer to
Now,
him.
he was my favorite player last year.
Oh, kickers matter,
Yes.
sir. And that list goes on and on. If I had the roster in front of me, I guarantee you every other player is Golden Empire alumni, which is why the 8th is so critical and important for us, because we want these young athletes to envision themselves playing on this field, because if you play junior college football, you need to play here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was a junior college guy, you know, first team All-American. You know, you hear the the myth that local players don't play at Bakersfield College. I was a 22-game starter. I coached several players that were 22-game starters. The people who run usually didn't want to play. So now before we go into anything else, Ron, let's talk last week. You know, I'm a music guy. I work in sports music and film.
Sure.
Do a lot of Hollywood work. You tried to bless me with these hats, thinking you were going to one-up me. But last week, I had a music post about Rakim. You know, I'm a former MC, and Ron jumped on there talking about Rakim, and I was like, Ron know his bars. So guess what? Ron White, I got a gift for you too, sir. And it's the last Outkast Eddie Brock album that I'm also featured on. You know, 19 quality tracks on every media outlet. We got world famous people on there, but Kenny Calvin's on 2 of those. So since you know about those bars, Ron, I'm gonna bless you with this last Outkast album.
I'm
so
going
you
to take
can keep
this,
your bars up.
I appreciate this and go on the Kenny Calvin Wall of Fame that I have in my office. Thank you. I'm touched by that. Absolutely.
You know what? My oldest son is in the Army in Poland, so I'm going to bless you guys with this so you can stay hydrated, Miss Teresa and Miss
we
Ron.
definitely, this is a bigger blessing for sure.
Yeah, you know, my dad was an Army guy. West Point recruited me, but they turned me off when they said I had to play 2 years after college, and I had NFL aspirations, so I chose to go other way. But you know, Ron, I can't let you get out of here. We about to head to break in a minute, but the impact that you have on the game from the bottom is admirable. You know, we had a long talk over at the office about, you know, when you reach the level of success that you guys have had, you're going to run into those opposing negative energies, and we just bat them away like flies and continue to be great. You know, watching people try to compete with the greatest youth football organization in the state, you know, and they're just falling away like flies. I salute you, my brother.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm honored to hear that. You know, we have a saying around here, we don't set the bar, we are the bar.
Yes, man.
And we work hard to get there.
Yes, man.
But no one works harder than Teresa. And what she's done, if I would be remiss if I don't cover this, what she and her staff have done to bring cheer to the level that football is at through our sideline cheer model, and maybe she can touch on it briefly, is unbelievable, Kenny. It's unbelievable.
Well, before we go to break, let's talk about cheer, because I love the cheerleaders. You know, have an opportunity to play in front of them. Coaches will be mad when we looking behind because we ain't paying attention. We looking at the cheerleaders do their thing and supporting them. Talk about the impact of the cheerleaders before we go to break, Ms.
So what we're really excited about is the level that we've stepped up. We really try to keep it affordable for families. That's really what we were initially about. Beyond that, prepping our girls for sideline cheer. High school football in Bakersfield is huge. It's tradition. And with that comes cheer. With that comes, you can't have a football game without cheerleaders on the sideline. It just adds another level of energy and fun and excitement. And we have had such a great time with these ladies, really building them up, enjoying watching our girls go from 8th graders to high school, and those ladies coming back and coaching and mentoring our youth as well, which is super important for us as well. So it kind of comes full circle for us.
Absolutely.
But we're very, very excited about all of the new things. Battle of the Bleachers, where we're inviting high schools and junior highs to compete at the Bakersfield Convention Center.
Okay.
So we have so many things coming up, and we're forever growing, and we're very excited about that.
Well, hey, you heard it here first. Well, this is Kenny Calvin of the Renegade Report, and my great friend and brother, Ron White of Golden Empire Youth Football League, and Teresa Clinton Williams. I'm throwing the other name in there. This is Kenny Calvin. We'll be right back after the break.
Renegade fans, be sure to catch your 2018 Renegade football team as they take to the field this season. Don't miss any of the action as El Camino, Santa Monica, Orange Coast, East LA, and Moore Park will all visit Memorial Stadium to square off against your Renegades. Season tickets range from $25 to $60 and can be purchased by visiting Validtix.com or calling 1-888-825-5484. Go Gage!